Welcome to thestockminer.com. I'm Brian Johnson, and I must admit I'm looking pretty hot in my new website. I hope you guys get a chance, wander around, click on the links, make sure everything's working. I've had a little bit of problems with Internet Explorer, not so much with Firefox and Chrome. So if you have problems, please, by all means, you can send me an email, and I'll have to put that email address in the video because I don't think there's any contact information right now on the new site. There's a lot of work and a lot of tweaking to be done. Hopefully this weekend will give me a chance to do that. But I'll put my email here in the video so you guys have something to at least use. Anyway, point being, I hope you like the new site. It's going to allow me a lot more flexibility, especially when it comes to my mobile users who are like on trains on their way home, and they have a lot of time on their hands, and it takes forever to load the old videos. So the new one will allow me to do that. Not only that, but on the back end, I can't even tell you what a night and day difference it is. I'm using a WordPress on the back end of this, and for those of you that have know a little something about computers, that just makes it so much easier from an administration standpoint. Oh man, I built the last site myself and didn't use the WordPress, and so it's a lot of administrative work. WordPress makes it a whole lot easier. Lots of plugins, just a lot of things that are, I won't go into all of it from a tech, I'm a geek at heart, but there's just a lot of things on the back end that are going to make it easier for me, and hopefully easier for you. So if you see videos, now you should, and probably you should see a choice where you'll have, if you click on the picture, it'll take you to the flash version of the video. If you guys prefer QuickTime, I can do a QuickTime. If I get enough requests for a QuickTime version, I can do a QuickTime for you Apple type people. And then I'm also going to do a mobile version, which is going to be a smaller file size and link you to a mobile version so that it'll be real easy to view on iPads, iPods, phones, smartphones. I have a Droid Incredible, and it was working really good earlier today on some of the beta or test runs I did. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. On to the markets. We saw kind of the same thing we saw over the last few days. Really, not a whole lot has changed. The NASDAQ, once again, very weak today. Really got its butt kicked. The Dow was strong. It ended up again. And the S&P was pretty good too. I mean, it ended up as well as about, I'm going to call it even really on the day. But the NASDAQ overall was down 14, almost 15 points. I mean, it took a butt whooping again today. So, is that signs of things to come in the markets? Yeah, it could be, actually. So I'm waiting for the Dow to kind of quote-unquote confirm what we've seen from the other indices, but no reason to think that won't happen. Turning this battleship around is not easy. So we'll see early next week. I think the market's gonna tip its hand. Kind of left us in limbo here. For instance, this little move right here, this can resolve its way. You can count this any way you want to from an Elliott-Titian standpoint, but this thing can resolve itself up for a new wave or down for a wave 3 or whatever it's going to be. It's anybody's guess. But right now, you can see just a consolidation after everything was said and done. Just a consolidation day, and once again up 50 points. Remember, I was telling you, go ahead, keep playing things to the upside. But if you're not holding overnight and you're getting in the morning, you're given limited opportunity. Whereas, by the end of the day, you made 50 points. Okay, not bad. You pulled 20, 30, 40 points out of that. Good. That's pretty average. But still not any big moves. It's not 100 points, 200 points, 300 points like we've seen in the Dow over time. It's just not getting that kind of movement anymore, right now anyway, in the markets, and it's certainly not coming to the upside. So you want to be very, very careful. We did, however, get up and over this thing. So from a Dow standpoint, nothing broken in the short term at all from a bull side or the long term. Everything is very, very much intact from a bull side on the Dow. And showing us here that little candle we got yesterday, no weakness today. Nothing, at least in the Dow. We got it in the NASDAQ, but not in the Dow. Everything turned out just fine in the Dow, and once again, upwards we go. Watch this closely. We'll talk more about that this weekend. NASDAQ 60-minute. Here it was, the big move down. The NASDAQ composite was down about 15. This was down about 17, almost 18. This is the NASDAQ 100. That is the 100 strongest stocks in the NASDAQ, and you can see coming right back to rest and sit right here on lower support again. So yes, what do we have? Can it be any more obvious? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Yeah, we have a potential head and shoulders pattern here. I don't necessarily always care for these because this one is really pretty. I mean, it is so obvious. So we have to wait, gotta wait for confirmation. I see a lot of these do a shoulder, head, and a shoulder, and then pow, straight to the upside. They never resolve to the, or I shouldn't say they never, but a lot of times they don't resolve to the downside. You gotta wait for the break. You gotta wait for confirmation. I'm gonna wait for breaks below here, and ultimately this 200 is probably the safer place if you like to short the Nasdaq, which you know I'm not big on doing. But if you're in that boat, there's your entries coming in next week. Nasdaq daily, same thing. Look how we're sitting right at on the 20-day moving average. Now, really, we talked about this. If we retest the 20, is it going to hold? Well, in this case, you know what? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. But if we're being anal, no, it didn't. It closed below the 20-day moving average. So it's a weekend, it's Friday, I'll give it another day and see what happens here. But the fact that it came back to revisit this so quickly is not strong. That's not what the bulls are looking for. That's not what we've been seeing either from the bulls with the whole buy the dips thing that we've been talking about the last umpteen months. This is not the case here this time. So it closed below the 20. We'll see if that lends itself to any further weakness next week, and look at the weekly as well. Once again, bears win. Ugh, I just hate saying Bears wins. I'm a Packers fan, guys, and when Bears play the Packers, and all the media's done is talk about Packers this and Rodgers that, and I'm like, shut up, talk about the Bears, talk about color. I hate it when they talk about one team too much. It's usually that team that loses. Like, who thought that all they talked about was the Saints beating the Seattle Seahawks? Oops. How about the Pats? Yeah, they didn't win either. So I hate it when they talk about one team too much. It always seems to be the curse. So anyway, I don't even like talking about the Bears this week. Oh, man, it's killing me. Anyway, back to the charts. You can tell it's Friday. I'm in a good mood. It's Friday. Okay. So anyway, the Bears won this week. They did very, very well. Now, overall, is anything broke from a bigger picture? No, not really. But the Nasdaq sure was weak, down 2.3%. Just this week alone. Looking for further weakness next week. SPX 60 minutes, same type of thing. Look, up 3, but holding above these levels that we talked about. If you're going to trade, you want to trade below here. Is this an A, a B, and now there's a bigger C down? Is this a 1, a 2, and now there's a 3 wave down? Is this wave 4, and this is 1 of 5 2s working, and then 3 up? Yeah, we can count this one of a billion ways. Really, there are some things that probably can't work all that well. But truth be known, we're really just stuck. Look, we're trapped in between the 50 and the 20 on the 60 minute. There's no trading to be done here right now, and it was basically sideways most all of the day. So we get this candle, we get an invert of that candle today. Yeah, we could look at that as maybe kind of a gravestone type thing. Sure, whatever. Just waiting for a lot of these lower levels to be broke. Now, the Nasdaq's retested the 20-day. S&P has not. Let's see what happens when the S&P gets back down here. And let's see if it does. Maybe it runs up early next week. Some good news here or whatever it might be. But I'm looking for, right now, let's see if we don't get some continued weakness within the markets back into that 20-day moving average and see where that gets us. SPS weekly, same thing. Look, we talked about this. Not much of a candle to look at. Certainly hasn't broken anything to the bull side. And right now it's just a consolidation candle for the time being. Now the VIX was up again today, so very interesting. Here we go again. Markets up, VIX up. There's no confirmation there. And what happens when we see this? Well, in the past, except for maybe the case of this right here, but in the past what we've seen is VIX up, markets up, VIX up, markets up, usually about 2 days in a row. Then we see the markets run straight up and the VIX run straight down. Let's see if that happens again. We've seen that about 2 or 3 times in the past, guys. Let's see if we get that kind of a move again. VIX weekly also outside of this pattern, watching these higher levels. Now we are back into the 18 level. We have not been there in a long time on a close. We're closing back into the 18-ish level now. So let's look for closes in the 19, 20-ish level now. Maybe we're talking about some bearishness starting to set back into the markets. Now, Apple continues to bleed to death, down again today, another $6. Anybody that went short up here has done very, very well for the week. Lots of volatility, and just a ton of volatility in Apple. From the run down, back up, from the run up, back down. So Apple's not faring all that well right now. Maybe we see a little bit of a bounce in it come Monday, Tuesday, but if you're looking for lower levels, it has to be this 323 level. We'll talk more about that. Overall, though, for the week, Apple not faring so well. Got the gap down. Look, it ran right into overhead resistance and right back down. So much easier when you get your lines right and when you can see this type of stuff in the charts. You can really make your trading a lot easier. FAS, okay, gonna have to do some work on my lines because this is just ugly. All right, came down, retested this lower blue line, which isn't extended at this moment. I'll do that this weekend. Up and into a consolidation. Up 61 cents today. So while the NASDAQ was crashing, the financials, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Up 2% anyway on the FAS mark. Overall, choppy and sideways. Go right to the daily. You can see held the 20-day and didn't really go up, but didn't go down. So watching to see if we get any kind of weakness next week, getting us back below the 20-day. Once again, the 20 days are still big keys in my trading. FAZ hit the bottom line, hit the top line, and pulled back from there. Wow, doesn't get much easier than that from a trading perspective. But now we're in a chop zone. Yeah, not interested right now. I'm going to sit and wait and let this thing resolve before I make my moves. I'll give you some entries for this next week, but otherwise looking for pushes above the 20-day. Otherwise, if we start to fall again, or if we rise again in the financial, this is going to drop, and if it does and gets back below here, guess what? I'm looking for a retest of this lower blue line. We'll talk more about that this weekend. Kind of wrap things up for the day. Hope you guys enjoy the new site. Feel free to play around with it. Yes, I know some icons might not be showing right now. I've just got to change some links and take out this and put in that, and hopefully things will be a little bit more in order come Sunday when the new video comes out. All right, talk to you guys later. Oh, feedback can be left on the videos now too, by the way. I don't know if I noticed that, so hopefully maybe I can do a little instructional video, but if you poke around a little bit, I think you can leave comments to these videos now right below the video itself, which is really cool. I like that a lot. So there you have it. Talk to you guys this weekend, and hey, gotta say it, go Pack. All right, see you then. Bye.